Have you ever walked into a room and felt like no one even noticed you were there? Like you were invisible, just fading into the background while everyone else seemed to shine? If you've ever felt that way, this story is for you. Today, I want to share something that might just change the way you see yourself forever. This is the story of Maya Rodriguez, a 24-year-old graphic designer living in Chicago. Maya was talented, kind, and hardworking, but if you asked anyone in her office to describe her, most wouldn't know what to say. She always sat in the back during meetings, never raising her hand, even when she had brilliant ideas. At lunch, she ate alone at her desk, scrolling through her phone while her coworkers laughed together in the break room. Maya had convinced herself that she simply wasn't the type of person people noticed, that confidence was something you were born with, like blue eyes or curly hair, and she just didn't have it. One rainy Tuesday morning, Maya's boss announced that the company was hosting a design competition. The winner would present their work at a major conference in front of hundreds of industry professionals. Maya's heart raced with excitement, but then that familiar voice in her head whispered, "Who are you kidding? You'll never win. You're not good enough." So she stayed quiet while her confident coworkers eagerly signed up, their voices filling the room with energy and ambition. That evening, Maya sat in her favorite coffee shop on Michigan Avenue, sketching designs in her notebook, but feeling completely defeated. An older woman at the next table noticed Maya's drawings and leaned over. "Those are beautiful," she said warmly. Maya looked up, surprised. The woman introduced herself as Patricia Chen, a retired art teacher who had spent 40 years helping students find their voice. They began talking, and Maya found herself opening up about her struggles with confidence, about feeling invisible, about always being too afraid to take up space. Patricia listened carefully, then asked a question that would change everything. "Maya, do you think confidence means never feeling afraid?" Maya nodded. "That's where you're wrong, sweetheart," Patricia said gently. "Real confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about feeling the fear and choosing to show up anyway. It's not about believing you're perfect. It's about believing you're worthy of trying, even if you might fail." She leaned forward and added, "Every single person you think is confident, they've all felt invisible at some point. The only difference is they decided to become visible anyway, one small brave choice at a time." Those words echoed in Maya's mind for days. She thought about all the times she had hidden her light, waiting for permission to shine, waiting to feel ready. Finally, she made a decision. She would enter the competition, not because she felt confident, but because she wanted to practice being brave. She started small. The next day at work, she spoke up in a meeting, sharing just one idea. Her voice shook a little, but she did it. The following week, she joined her coworkers for lunch. These tiny acts of courage felt terrifying at first, but each time she chose visibility over hiding, she felt a little stronger. Maya worked on her competition entry late into the nights, pouring her heart into every detail. When the day came to submit her work, her hands trembled as she clicked the button, but she did it anyway. 3 weeks later, she received an email. She had won. The day of the conference arrived, and standing backstage, waiting to present to hundreds of strangers, Maya felt that old familiar fear creeping in. But then she remembered Patricia's words. Confidence isn't about not being afraid. It's about showing up anyway. Maya walked onto that stage, and yes, her hands shook, and yes, her voice wavered at first, but she spoke. She shared her work, her ideas, her vision. And something magical happened. People listened. They asked questions. They saw her. Not because she had suddenly become a different person, but because she had chosen to let herself be seen. After her presentation, Patricia was waiting in the audience, smiling with pride. "You did it," she said, hugging Maya tightly. "You became visible not because you stopped being afraid, but because you stopped letting fear make your decisions." So here's what I want you to understand. True confidence isn't something you find. It's something you build, one small act of courage at a time. Every time you speak up when you'd rather stay quiet, every time you try something new even though you might fail, every time you choose to show up as yourself instead of hiding, you're building confidence. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel fearless. You just need to take that first brave step, then the next one, and the next. The world needs what you have to offer, even if you can't see it yet. If this story touched your heart, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment telling me about one small brave thing you're going to do this week to become more visible. Subscribe to Life Rise Tales for more stories that inspire and encourage you. Remember, you're not invisible. You've just been waiting for permission to shine, and I'm here to tell you, you already have it. Stay patient, stay grateful, and keep moving forward.